Now it is beginning to be clear and clear what all these Oloris are doing in the palace so that they can remain relevant. Yes, the Oloris are actually doing so much and a lot to remain relevant in the palace, as Isia has actually been able to uncover something very, very heinous and hideous happening inside the palace and inside the chambers of the Oloris. Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to D&Z TV. At D&Z TV, we give you insight into all the happenstances in the Oni of Ife's palace and also the entertainment industry at large. So, right about now, there is this incident that happened in the palace of the Oni of Ife. Yes, something very, very serious happened that now warranted the Oni to invite a seer to come and ascertain the true nature of things that are happening in the palace. When the seer now came, the seer made a very powerful observation and a discovery that is actually making everybody to go on a very shocking dispensation to know exactly what's happening. It was discovered that all the Oloris have 7 pots buried inside their chambers. Hey, this is actually the biggest discovery that has ever been discovered in the palace of the Oni of Ife. The biggest discovery that they discovered 7 pots buried in each of the chambers of the Oloris. Now, what has been the job of these chambers, of these pots? These pots are all meant to these spots are all meant to 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 control the Oni in all his affairs. The pots have now been able to make the Oni not to have a say, not to actually have a conk say of what to do and how to do it in the palace. It has actually really dragged things not to work as it should, because with all of this happening now, it has now made people to have a different mindset of how to handle things. And when things are not properly handled like this, now, that is why now you now find it that it's now very difficult for the owner to take some serious decisions that he's supposed to normally take. The owner is supposed to take some very serious decisions, decisions like, okay, what to do, how to do it, what not to do, and a couple of other decisions that he naturally is supposed to take. But this has actually been kind of a little bit difficult. But all in all, the owner is actually really scared. In fact, for the first time in the life of the owner of Ife, he really looked visibly scared. Because imagine now, when you go to each apartment, you dig up a pot, each apartment, they were just digging up earthly pots in all the chambers of all these ladies. And these are now things that you begin to wonder that, okay, no wonder all the prayers that Naomi has been praying, they've not really been working as they're supposed to be working. Yeah, they cannot work the way they're supposed to be working. They cannot work like that because there are a lot of other altars. There are a lot of altars that have been speaking against the palace. And when these altars begin to speak against the palace like this, you don't expect things to logically work the way it's supposed to work. You kind of now see things happen in a very different dimension and different perspective. And when things begin to happen in a different dimension and perspective like this, you're bound to have some unnecessary pressure from other people. Now, these pressures now, as a matter of fact, cannot be controlled. The Oni has tried. There's a lot of certain things that normally the Oni could have been able to put under control. But because of the way all of these women have been having a hand with all the controls that they've been doing in the palace, it now becomes very difficult for things to work harmoniously the way they are supposed to work. And all of these Oloris are actually responsible for most of these things that are happening. And now, if they are this responsible now how now do you expect the palace to experience joy, if not for the fact that Naomi has been very fervent and strong in prayer, in her prayer life? I'm sure Naomi could not even have been able to survive a single night in that palace. Naomi could not have been able to survive a single night in her palace. Naomi could have just decided to look like someone who has actually not been able to get the thorough understanding that she needs to get. It's actually very heartbreaking. It's actually very dejectful. It's actually very serious that when other people are eagerly trying to make things work or make things fall in line and in place, these Oloris just have a way of causing so much distraction in the palace. And if you look at this distraction, the way it's happening, you now realize that the distraction is actually not going to stop now. Yes, the distraction cannot stop now. The distraction will continue to linger and linger and linger for a very, very long time. So you now begin to wonder, at what point are people now going to have the mind of their own, not to allow these evil negativities continue to thrive in the palace? Because if you understand the level of negativity that is being sent in the palace, you actually find out that the possibility of people having a different notion like this cannot be overemphasized. In as much as people are trying to make ends meet, in as much as people are trying to separate the right from the left, other people are still putting effort and putting pressure to the Oni, making it very difficult, for him to take some certain decisions that naturally he could have taken, because there are a lot of things that have happened in that place that you expect the Oni to act in a particular way, but instead of acting in that particular way, he has a way of now acting the opposite, and by acting the opposite like this, it now causes a lot of unnecessary distraction, causes a lot of bamboozlement, causes a lot of issues that cannot actually be handled properly, and when issues continue to rigmarole and remind people from having their say like this, you now know that of a matter of truth and urgency, things will definitely take a different toll. And if things continue to take a different toll like this, then the center, as a matter of fact, will definitely disintegrate, because right now the Oni is very angry that these women can actually bring pots to the palace, and these pots are not from him as a person. So it can be very angry. It can be very funny that these women can actually go this far to begin to cause this kind of problems for the Oni of Ife. Alright, my people, it's been D&Z TV. I want to say thank you for coming and see you some other time. Bye bye.